What's up, world? It's your boy, Coach EB, aka EB the Geeker, aka Coach EB. What's going on? Hey, and welcome to another episode of Talking Hoops in the Sip. That's right, Talking Hoops in the Sip. Man, we got so much stuff on tap tonight. Before we get started, though, let me talk to me about my sponsors. Uh, who is my sponsor? Oh, I got it. Tatum and Wade Law Firm, located right here at 124 East Meat Street in Jackson, Mississippi. Uh, Tatum and Wade are serious lawyers who get serious results. I say if you want to get paid, then go to Tatum and Wade. Also, we have Eris. Eris. I'm telling you this, Eris, Jason Hubbard and Eris, they have the air purification system. And I'm telling you, if it is special, I have one in my home. I just want to let you know with Eris, we breathe different. All right, listen, I'm excited here. I got my guy uh, from the coast in the building. My guy, K. Cole in the building from down on the coast. What up, K. Cole?
How you doing, EV?
Hey, K, man, we got a lot of basketball, man, that we saw. We were together yesterday at the jump out at Madison Ridgely. And so, I mean, it was some very good ball games. Was there all day. Delonte should be popping on a little in a few to talk about his event that he had down in at Columbus, the Tip Off Classic. And so we are, man, we just got a lot of basketballs. A lot of basketballs. A game at Holmes County. I'm pretty sure was going on with some girls games down there. And so we'll be talking about a few of those. And then I also saw some big time games with big time atmospheres uh, this week. Let me ask you this, Keiko. Did you go to where you happen? Did you happen to go come in town and see Terry and Raymond?
I caught every game yesterday at the jump. I was there from the first game all the way into the second to last game.
Yeah, but you didn't come. You didn't come in town to see right before the jump Terry versus Raymond.
Oh no, that was Friday night. My buddy video coordinator, the best video guy in the state of Mississippi, Kevin Walden, caught that one, but he got all the highlights on his phone. So I got a chance to see his Southside Hoops videos of that game, and it was intense.
Oh yeah. Listen, I happened to be at the Clinton Terry game a couple days before, and to be honest, if you haven't been to a Clinton Terry game, which is a rivalry game, or a Clinton Raymond game, which is another rivalry game, the fans unbelievable. I mean, if they didn't at the Clinton Terry game, I didn't know if I was at a club or a ball game, to be honest with you. I mean, they had the music jumping, they had the student section. I'm talking about they was dancing like they was on Dancing for the Stars. I mean, they gave you everything you want. It was a tick-tock bonanza in there. I mean, just dumb, stupid, just crazy. I mean, people on the floor, they dunking out, all type of stuff. As we welcome in the legend himself, Edward Shoes Lavelle Johnson. Edward. we give him. We go to Edward.
Hey man, that's my. Hey man, everybody ain't supposed to know that.
I mean, it's right on your account. They read it. I mean, we got most people on here that can read. They see it. Also, we have Southern Sports Platform in the building. Delonte Weber. What up, T Web?
What up with y'all, man? How long y'all been on? I'm late.
Yeah, you're a little late. We ain't been on for 5 minutes. It's cool. I mean, you know what time we on. We on the CPT time, That's what they say, they say that about us. So we might as well just go ahead and be on that time today. So now we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump in on the jump, and then we're gonna get over to you, and you'll be able to talk to us about what happened on yesterday. And Keiko, I'm gonna defer to you. We're gonna talk about the Terry Ocean Springs game, and then we're gonna go Harrison Central, Provine, and then Madison Central, Pascagoula. And you can go ahead and talk to us about some of the we'll piggyback off you, but talk to us a little bit about Ocean Springs and the coach teams, which I know you watch the games. You can talk about the game, but really hone in on who we saw.
Excuse me, if tell me, how do I sound?
Oh, you sound good.
Okay. I know
Now,
last time I was having a little trouble.
you didn't ask us how you look, so we won't answer that
I know
question.
I look good. I know I look good. I know I look good.
Looks can be deceiving there, buddy. Go ahead, K. Cole. Talk to us, Terry Ocean Springs.
Well, from what I saw from the Terry Ocean Springs game, of course, we know that Terry is one of the top, two or three teams in the state. Ocean Springs, they're under the leadership of a new coach, and he had two returning players, Isom and of course Noblet, which are his top two scorers returning. They jumped out on Terry, which was a surprise, and I want to say they might have led by as much as double figures, if I'm not mistaken. They jumped out and was knocking down some threes. They also have a transfer by name of Caleb Bradley that came over from St. Martin, who's going to help them. They don't have any size, so basically what ended up happening, they jumped out on Terry and they're knocking down a lot of threes, and then Terry just kind of settled down, and Avery Thomas went to work, and their length just started causing problems for the smaller guards for Ocean Springs, and then Terry just did what they normally do. End up taking the league, end up beating them by 20. But Ocean Springs will probably be one of the better teams in our district now here. They probably won't be the top team in the district, but just under the leadership of the new coach that they got, they're going to be a whole lot better than what they normally are.
Let me ask you this. Ocean Springs 6A or 7A?
They're a 7A school.
Okay. And so do you see them, who do they have to beat out down there to get to the big house?
Well, we got 6 teams in the district now, and they take the top 4, right?
Okay.
And my top 4 in that district, of course, is going to be Harrison Central. And I picked them because they had the most returning, and they probably got one of the best players on the coast, probably behind Dorian. So I would say Harrison Central will probably be the team to win that district. I would go with Biloxi second. Third, I probably would say Ocean Springs because of the 3 guards that they got, and they are pretty good. My 4th team on the coast will be Picayune because Picayune made, of course, to the state championship last year in 5A, and they're returning like, I want to say 3 starters, maybe 4 starters. 2 of them are football players, so I would pick them as far as, being one of the top teams on the coast. They're not actually a 7A school, but they will be one of the better teams as far as, basketball on the coast. And I would say as far as in that district, Biloxi will probably finish about 3rd or 4th if I had to pick a team, and probably Gulfport.
Shoes, talk to us a little bit about Terry Ocean Springs. You was at the game. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, I mean, I was impressed with the way Ocean Springs came out. They did look good. They were a different team from last year. Last year they were not a lot more, wild and woolly. So they played a little more under control and looked a little more structured, this time. And they came out, played well early. But I mean, Terry, I thought coming into the season, Terry would be possibly one of the top teams in the state. You see, I had them number 3 in my preseason rankings. And they just did what you were supposed to do, what you used to do when you were those teams. They just persevered, warmed down. Man, I got to say this. When you're watching Terry, I watched them Friday night and yesterday. Man, them jokers big. They got a big team. I mean, even their guards are big. Their guards are tall and rangy. Man, it's gonna be hard to get shots off, good looks off against a team like that on a regular high school court. They're gonna, the other night against Raymond hit 1 3 against them the other night. Early on, Ocean Springs hit a few, but as the game went on, man, they were contesting shots. They couldn't get good looks, and that's just, to me, that's going to be one of the big things about Terry is their length and their size. But they just wore Ocean Springs down. They just did what they were supposed to do. They just kept playing, took the first, Springs through the first punch. They shook it off and kept going.
Yeah, I agree. Jerry is a team in 7A or any A that is. Are they 7A or are they 6A?
6. They're 6.
Ooh. And and you talked about this, Shoes, that 6A may be the toughest division.
Yeah, they deep. 6A is deep.
Yeah, but Terry's really, really good. Terry, arguably, you can argue, can play with anyone in the state, any A. I mean,
I'll go as far as to say this. I seriously gave Terry consideration for being my preseason #1 team. I just felt like I would let them show me that they deserve it because they didn't have a resume that that you kind of could come off of last year. They made it to the Elite Eight. They had a solid season last year, but they didn't get to Jackson. They lost, and all that. So I said I'd let them show me, but I really can't say they gave this a serious consideration for the preseason #1 spot.
Yeah, they played well, and I've happened to see Terry now play twice. I saw him play against Clinton, and to be honest with you, that game was called, and Clinton had, up until the game was called, Clinton led all the way for 3/4, up until the last minute of the third quarter, and then the game was called, and Clinton handled him. It was a really, really good game, and so that's going to be very interesting to see.
Hadn't Terry taken the lead when they called that game?
Yeah, 44-42.
Yeah,
with about a minute left in the third quarter.
Which kind of goes with what they did Friday night and what they did yesterday. They may not start off great, but they tend to look like they pick up steam as the game goes along.
Yeah. Now in that game, they couldn't guard Trey Alexander. Trey Alexander, matter of fact, had, now unofficially, I didn't see the books on this, but I have been told by several people that he had 32 of the 40 points. And that is a dumb number when you think about it. I don't know if that's, I can say I saw 20 myself. There's no question about that. I was shocked when I heard 32, but I did hear he went to the line 19 times and he made pretty much all 19 of his free throws because he was a hard check. So I don't know if that was the case or not, but that was a good game. But Terry is a team moving forward that, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. I was really impressed. Now, Shoes, you saw, I was just telling Kay Cole about the atmosphere that I experienced at Clinton. And I asked the question, was it a club or a game out of it? I know ridiculous, just stupid, contest.
It was kind of the same way Friday night.
Yeah, I know you were there.
The same way Friday night for Raymond, because they're even more. They consider Raymond even more rival than Clinton. So it was really off the chain in the Friday. I mean,
so we'll come back. We'll jump back to the jump, but let's jump over to Terry. Talk to us about that, because when I was watching your boy K. Cole, I did see Kevin Walden with Southside, who's had some electric dunks in those games. I mean, I saw some footage from there, and and shout out to K. Walden, does a great job along with my boy. I cannot just talk about. If I'm gonna talk about the videos, we're gonna introduce the video. We got to talk about my boy Vernon Moore at Do It Now Films. He didn't just. I mean, he's blown up himself. He does a great job, and we appreciate every video person that does this, because you give us Balling in the Sip, Shots by Shay, and and Talante can mention some other ones later. But talk to us a little bit about the Terry Raymond game. And Shoes, that was your preseason #1, and they dropped 2. And Avery Thomas had a nasty dunk on EJ with the lefty. I dunk on you, I'm Avery Thomas. It was that type of thing. Talk to us a little bit about the game as a whole.
I mean, the video did the game justice, but it probably was only a half or a third of the dunks in the game. I mean, there were quite a few. EJ had 3 or 4 himself. He only had 1 in the video. EJ had 3 or 4 himself. Avery had that one. He had another tip dunk right there at the end that put him up 2, not the winning 2, because Raymond scored again, then scored to win it with 3 seconds left. But man, it was a crazy game. It was a lot of dunks. The kid, I can't call his name. The kid referred back from Texas, from Raymond, had 2 or 3 dunks. He had he had a few others. I mean, it was electric. It was an electric game, electric atmosphere, a high wire game, because they were playing around the rim all night. You know, you got Quentin Wilson. Quentin had him 2 or 3 dunks in the game. You know, he's gonna get him one. You know, he started the game off yesterday with a alley-oop. So I mean, it was a high wire game over there Friday night. And you know, Raymond led the bulk of the game. I mean, like you said about the Clinton game, Raymond led just about all the way. They never could put them away. They went up, I know, at least 8 or 9 at one point. Terry would chip it back down. And Terry just kept playing, kept chipping away, and just kind of, when it got late, they were able to make a couple plays late and get the win. You know, I still think Raymond is one of the best teams in the state. Probably the favorite for 4A, but you know, Choctaw Central did make a statement by beating them over. I mean, I give Raymond credit. They opened up the game on the road to 2 really good, really tough teams. Tadlock doesn't run, doesn't hide, he doesn't duck competition. He knows that, you know, these losses early are not gonna kill him. Well, don't kill you, only make you stronger. I still think they'll be around in that near the top of the rankings when it's all over. Said and done. They've got a lot of size. They're a lot like Raymond. Got a lot of size. The guards got kind of big, and the point guard Stevens got long arms. You know, so it was a high wire, exciting game, but it was a knockdown, drag out slugfest the other night, Captain.
We would listen, like, and all of us are here. I respect highly. We would be real silly to bet against Tony Tadlock and Raymond. Here's a guy that's went to, I don't know, 6 states straight, 7, 8 straight state championship.
Six state champ game.
Yeah, 6 straight. Ever since he's been at Raymond, he's been in the state championship. So we would look real silly. I don't care if he goes 0-10. You know, Raymond will be in Jackson. You know, I mean, we just wouldn't take that bet. And so we know that you know, the good thing I like about Tony Tadlock, who is what I consider one of the top coaches in the state of Mississippi, and actually in the country. He was recognized that, you know, where he's been all over. You know, he was recognized. He was up for National Coach of the Year, as a matter of fact. And so we know he does a great job. And so we expect that. Let's shift back to the jump real quick. Let's finish up the jump because I want to run through, and then we'll go to Talante. Harrison Central Provine, talk to us a little bit, K. Cole, about the guys on what you saw in that game from your guys, and, you know, give us a little, you know, from that game, you know, you thought would have played a little bit better. We know about Sean Murray from Harrison Central. You know, just give us the spiel about Harrison Central as they lost a close one to Provine.
Well, Harrison Central came out with their star player, Jalen Barron, the little 5'8" guard that they got. He was their leading scorer last year, and he's a senior now, one of the better guards in the state. He jumped out with 8 straight points for him. He couldn't get nothing out of nobody else. He got in foul trouble early, and as he goes, Harrison Central goes. So once he got in foul trouble, of course, he had to sit. They just brought 3 football players back that had just played Friday night but hadn't practiced with the basketball team. And they just threw a bunch of them in the game and was trying to, you know, find something where they can come up with some scoring, but they couldn't get no scoring. And like I said, once the Jalen went down, it was kind of downhill from there. But, of course, Sean, he's been on a little funk lately. Sean, I think he ended up with like 5 points. He couldn't get going. Like I said, it was just out of sync. And then, not to be making the excuses, like I said, their head coach wasn't there. He lost his mom, and he buried his mom Saturday. So not to be making any excuses, but they didn't have their head coach there. So like I said, they just kind of was out of sync. And, of course, they didn't start the season off 0-2 because Hattiesburg beat them, Tuesday. So they're one of the, top 6 teams in the state, and they already got 2 losses. But normally with Harrison Central, they just one of those teams, they get better second half of the season. They normally pick things up, and they'll be one of those teams to contend when it comes down to coast basketball.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Provine did a great job. Amaji, you know, it was the battle of the little guards. I'll talk about J.J. Watkins. J.J. Watkins is a kid. I know he holds a Coach Lynn offer. But to be honest with you, he should have an offer in my opinion, he should have an offer by every JUCO in the state. That, you know, because, you know, pretty much that, especially if you need a point guard. If you need a true point guard, he's one of the best pure pass first point guards in Mississippi. Now his biggest challenge obviously is his size, but his heart makes up for it. He's not a phenomenal shooter, but what he does is he can get to the he can get wherever he wants on the court, and he's got a lethal floater. To be honest with you, man, his floater, and I hope he's listening to this, and even his coach, and somebody can get the message to him. He's got to get back to the. And he had the best coming. His first 2 years, he was the best floater. As a ninth grader, he had the best float game in the whole state. There was nobody had a floater better than him. I call him JJ. I float you. I mean, because he got to that spot and threw that up. To me, we need to get back to that. Just keep doing that because it's an unstoppable shot. It was, and I know this is gonna sound silly, but it reminds me the floater. I'm gonna make this comparison. If you have, especially for a small guy, it's really on a guard level like Kareem Skyhook. It's an unblockable shot. You think about it, and that's a little probably outdating some of you guys. I know me and K. Cole probably remembers about Kareem. Think about the times Kareem didn't get his shot blocked. And if you got the floater right where it needs to be, that's a hard shot to block. And he's got that in his package. JJ's really good. That was a big win for Provine. They won that game without, one of the top players in the state, Wayne Jacoby Thompson, too. He didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play. But I tell you another guy that's underrated, and Shoes remind me, is Amaji Horton. He's a junior, right?
He's a junior. He's a 23.
Yeah, Amaji Horton is what I call a bully guard. He had 12 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. He just does it all. You ask what position he plays basketball. That's the position he plays. Just a dog. He's a dog. I gotta have him on my team because he can pass the basketball. He really, especially at the JUCO level, you could even play him at some 4 because he's just one of them guys, man. He's tough as nails. You think he would be a linebacker on the football team, and he can pass the basketball. He can do some things, and he's only going to get better. I mean, if this summer, if he becomes a knockdown shooter, I'm just talking about a lights out where he just gets in the gym and makes 500 shots a day. That should be his goal. Just make 500 catch and shoots a day. He could really be, take him to another level. He's just a kid, and he played really well. He won the MVP of that game as they beat, Harrison Central. So, Shoes, what's your thoughts on that game?
I mean, I like Cole said, I think Boo not being there, they had someone that's not regular coaches and team coaching it yesterday, so naturally he was a little out of, he didn't know what strings to pull, and they were out of sync. And definitely, like he says, when Jalen got in foul trouble, there was he goes. Harrison Central is a notoriously slow starting team. It doesn't surprise me they're 0-2. They do this a lot. They start slow and pick it up. They just get better, and they tend to get better as the season go along, especially when and Boo's teams are at their best when they have a really good lead guard, which he has this year. Jalen. So I expect them to be a tough out as the season goes on. As the season goes on, like he said, they probably should be the favorite in their region down south. But that wasn't really an upset to me. It wasn't surprising. I got Provine ranked a couple of slots in front of them in my ranking, so not an upset. It kind of went the way it should go. Provine with a each out of not blowout, but solid win. I think it was a real good win for Provine to win without Jacoby. That was big for them. They got some really good play out of the young man. I can't call his name. The young man that started in Jacoby's place. He hit a few shots. He actually played well. He's the senior.
Are you talking about Rayquez?
No. They started. Hold on. Let me look at that roster from yesterday. I'll tell you what that kid's name was. It started in his place yesterday. Provine. Jamari Jefferson, the little Jefferson kid, the Jamari Jefferson kid, number 4 that started. Yeah. None of us really know anything about it. He didn't play much last year. I saw him when I refereed over there on their meet the Rams night. He didn't do a lot that night, but Washington told me that he thought he was going to be a solid player for him. He really gave them some good minutes yesterday and hit some shots, came out in a couple of threes for him in that game, and it was big for them to get a win without Jacoby. Because I said that I think their biggest challenge is going to be depth. But he also says he's got a few kids coming out the football field this week. So I definitely think in South, I think Provine is 5A. In
Right.
South 5A, they are probably the team to beat in South 5A.
Yeah.
I don't know. Huh?
No, I was saying, and Raquez Thompson does a great job too. He had 26. I think Raquez had 26 in their first game. And let me say this: I want to give a shout out to Shadante Washington. Shadante, I've watched Shadante grow as a young coach, and we talked over the years. And I will say this: Shadante has he has really a tough job. It's not like Provine is not like the old Provine. It's not like when Wayne Brennan, Luther Riley was there. It's a lot, it's just a lot different. And I will say this to Sir Dante has turned the program around. I mean, in the sense of where he's just gotten it back to where it's really competitive. And it's not that it was. I don't know if I would say it was ever really not competitive. So I don't want to make it like that. But I know in his early years, I've just seen him grow as a coach, and he does a really good job. He has to come in. It's hard when you have to come in and you have to discipline some of your kids, some of your star players and stuff like that. That's tough because let's face it, you get judged. We can sit here and say about discipline, this, that, and the other. We can go all the way from the late Bob Knight to, Mike Krzyzewski, just to whomever you want. It's about you get judged by wins and losses, ultimately. And everybody talks about, oh man, this, that, and the other, from Nick Saban to whomever. And at the end of the day, if they can, each one of them, if they cannot discipline their star player, they won't. So let's not act like everybody's like, oh man, we're gonna do this. No, they ain't. They trying their best, if possible. I mean, not to have to sit anybody out because they know they want to do whatever it takes, to win, win the game. I mean, and if we say anything different, we're tricking ourselves, and somebody else can, believe that if you want. And so I just want to just give a personal shout out to Shadante Washington. He's done a good job and he's going to have Provine in the hunt this year for another state championship as they went and lost in the final. Did they lose Final Four?
Final Four.
Final Four. So I know that they're hungry. All right, moving right along. Let's finish up with the coach teams. Madison Central, Pascagoula. Madison Central, the host, played at the Jungle yesterday. They got a chance to get the little 3-point win. There were several high-level players in that game. Matt Pascagoula was missing Keelan Rich, but they did have Dory McMillan, Blake Nettles. That won against Dylan Rowe and my man JP from Madison Central. Cole, take us through Pascagoula and what you saw yesterday in that game.
Well, it's pretty much the same thing. Pascagoula came out. I think the key with them was their young guy, Blake. Blake got in foul trouble early, so that left pretty much only one other star, which was Dorian. Dorian kind of did his thing, but he couldn't make any shots. That was the thing with Dorian yesterday. He couldn't make a lot of shots. Of course, getting to the cup and taking people off the dribble. He did have a wonderful, emphatic dunk that he did. That kind of made the crowd kind of go, ooh, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, started slow, kept the game close, but I had to give it to my boy's son. He took over the game and did his thing. Mark Rowe, Dylan Rowe was a handful, man. He's a smart player. You could tell he's the coach's son. I think he had 24 points, something like 7 rebounds, 8 assists. So that right there let you know that he made their team go. And I see Madison Central, and I think they were missing a couple football players. I know the big guy that plays tight end, and he starts for them. So they're going to be definitely a tough out in 7-8 North. So I was really impressed. But like I said, Pascagoula, I think that was their first game. So you can kind of tell they had the first game jitters. But as far as 6A down here on the coast, they'll be the team to beat as far as 6A down here. So I know once they get Keelan back, I think those are the best 3 guards on any team down here on the coast. And I think they should go pretty far this year.
Well, let me say this, and then I'll let Shoes comment about it. Dylan Rowe in that game looked like the best player on the court. It's the best game I've ever seen Dylan play.
Oh, he was the best player on the court.
No question. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no doubt about it. And it was a big game because Tulane's Ray McCallum, associate head coach from Tulane, was in the building. Specifically, watched several games. Shout out to my boy Ray. Ray and I have known each other for a long time, and he got a chance to sit down with K. Cole, who's he knows as well as Shoes, and for him to come and do that, it's hard enough when you're just there, but a coach is in the building. Let's talk about that for a minute. A coach is in the building, so you want to perform. And I'm telling you, did he perform? He had 17 in the first half, cooled off a little bit, but what did he do? Whatever he wanted to do. He got to the basket. He hit all
the bloody throws down stretch.
That's right. He handled the basketball. Big guard, I see him at 6'2". Mark Rowe wants to say he's 6'3", so I just want to give you that, Mark. We'll throw out that you said he's 6'3", but we know he's 6'2", and maybe 6'3" with some on a good, like a good night. But he is what I would call a big point guard.
I'm gonna tell you what I told Shoes yesterday, Evie. When y'all see guys on a regular basis, it's hard for y'all to see if they've actually grown. But I haven't seen Dylan since last year, and Dylan is a lot taller than when I saw him last year. Yeah, so I'm gonna give him 6'3". I'm gonna give him 6'3".
You're gonna give him 6'3". Cool. And and to be honest with you, if somebody says 6'3", nobody, if it's 6'3" in the paper, nobody's really tripping on that. You know how sometimes you have guys 6'3" and he's 5'11". No, that ain't the case with him. He's a legit, he's a legit 6'2", 6'3", but great, very good body. Mark showed me some stuff. He reminds me of a guy that I used to coach. He was a 6'5" point guard, ended up playing at Tennessee by the name of Marcus Johnson years ago. Marcus was a kid. If you watched him in pickups and just he could windmill dunk, he could do some stuff. But in the game, he didn't look very athletic. Same thing with Dylan. Dylan, when you watch him, I seen some of the, some clips of him dunking and windmilling and stuff like that. Now that needs to translate to the game.
Yeah.
We lost you, Evie.
You froze up on us. I'm gonna tell over here. I'm gonna go over and leave. I'm gonna do like Eddie do when he ain't on. But Cole, I do think that that being their first game, that was definitely you could see the first game they just didn't seem to be in sync. You have
first game jitters. First game jitters, like I said, first game jitters. And then Keelan not being there, you got to think Keelan is the second leading scorer on the team behind Dorian. So that would have been, and he's one of their best shooters. And, they didn't really make a whole lot of outside shots. I think the Rowe kid, the Puerto Rican kid they got, I think he hit a couple threes from the outside. I don't know if Dorian hit any. North might have hit one. So they didn't have any outside shooting. That's what they were missing yesterday. So Keelan would have probably made a difference. Not saying that Madison Central would have beat them. I mean, they would have beat Madison Central because Madison is going to be really, really, really good. But they would have been better. But they lost by 3 points. So it could have went either way, probably.
Did y'all say I froze up?
Yeah,
you did.
Oh, okay, good. I'm sorry. I did. I look like I did. I just popped back on. I don't know. Where did y'all have me at? What was I? What did y'all last y'all heard me say?
You were talking about.
We were still talking about the Pascagoula and Madison Central game.
You just said he needed to translate that to the athleticism to the game.
Oh yeah. If he becomes the leaper that I saw in some clips, some videos of it, now you're talking about a special. You're talking about now something special, because we can say what we want. coaches like those kids that play above the rim. And, with his size, he's playing above the rim with everything else he does. I mean, that's going to take him, he's already in one of in one of the top guards in the 2025 class, but that takes him to another level. But what we're going to do is, before we talk about the rest of those games, we're going to shift over to Talante. Talante had his tip-off classic, and we'll finish those other jump games. Talante, talk to us a little bit about, some of the games, your turn, your classic. I think you had about 4 or 5 games along with the girl game. Go ahead and give us the, jump right in and talk to us a little bit about what you had.
What do you say? All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll just jump start with the first game. So it was a girl game. This is the first year we ever did girls. I got lucky and got 2 really, really good teams. Of course, Callaway from Jackson, 6A. No, 5A last year, state runners up, and then Hillcrest from Alabama, from out of Tuscaloosa. They were semifinal. They went to the semifinals in 6A last year in Alabama. So that was a great matchup. Both teams had a lot of college level prospects on the team. I think it was Jari Branch from Hillcrest. She's about 5'11". She's going to be a really good wing. She got a great mid-range jumper. She's long. She can defend. She can dribble. So I think she just need to shoot the ball a lot more. But other than that, man, she's definitely a Division I player right now. Callaway, of course, they have a lot of pieces that they returned. Of course, they got Johanna Wilson. They had a big who's a 10th grader who she actually won MVP. She had double-double. I think she finished with like 10 points and like 12 rebounds. I think her name
Shelby.
Yeah, Shelby. Is it Shelby Walker? Shelby Walker. She was really good. She impressed me a lot as well. But Callaway, they have a really good team. If I'm not mistaken, to me, from what I've seen, I think they're better this year than they were last year. That's just my opinion. I just seen them yesterday. I know they lost a close one to Holmes County Thursday night before they came to the tip off. So that was a really, really good game. Of course, with girls' games, sometimes they can start a little nervous. I think some of the girls were nervous at first, but when they got to flowing, the game was tight pretty much all the way throughout. And then Callaway, Callaway started putting the pressure on, getting turnovers, forcing turnovers, getting layups. So they won pretty comfortably toward the end of the fourth quarter. I think they ended up winning by like 12 points. But that was a great game to kick it off. Johanna, she had a kind of slow start at first. But then when she got going, of course, she started facilitating, breaking defenders down, getting people open baskets. She hit a lot of nasty baskets as well. So, and everybody in the crowd was like, man, we've been looking for that since the beginning. So I had told her after the game, sometimes you come to these events, it's kind of like you guys were talking about. When you get to high school, once you get to like junior, senior year, if you a star player, you have to turn it on as soon as you walk into the gym. So I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? You can be nervous for a little while, but I believe the amount of practice time that you put in, if you're ready to perform, you're gonna come in confident and do what you need to do. So that's just my belief in anything that we do. So kids take notice of that. But Johanna's really good. I really like her. I think she should be a dandy because I was telling people in the crowd, I was like, man, yeah, she should be a dandy dozen this shit. I was like, really, you think so? I was like, yeah, I really do think so. So that's it for game 1. And then game 2. We had Heritage versus DeSoto Central. Heritage Academy, I'm going to just go ahead and tell y'all now. In private school, public school, Heritage Academy is the real deal. They got players over there that can hoop. If we can put them against, you know what I'm saying, whoever you want to put them against, I think they're going to compete at a very, very high level. They're led by Whit Altmaier. Whit Altmaier just came back to the state. He was at Briarcrest last year with Jacob Gazzo and Memphis crew. But Whit, he used to be about 5. I'm gonna say Whit was probably like 5'8", 5'9", but Whit now he's stretched out to about 6'2". And I'm gonna just be honest with you, Whit was unstoppable yesterday. He got to the basket at will, mid-range shot, dunks, 3-point ball. He looked really, really good. So you know what I'm saying? If you look at the top guys, I see Trey Alexander been doing his thing. Of course, guys we know Brewer Carew, Cam Brown, Avery Thomas, but I really do think Witt is in that top 10 mix. From what I seen yesterday and what they've been doing so far, I definitely think he's one of those top 10 guys because he can really, really hoop. DeSoto Central, they're really, really tough. They had a tough loss to Boonville that Thursday night. They lost by 3 to Boonville. And like I had said, when I had dropped my state rankings, I think Boonville is a top 5 team, in the state. I think Boonville can beat anybody. So for DeSoto Central to go to Boonville and only lose by 3 points, I think that speaks volumes for them. Guys, the guy from Boonville had not the guy from Boonville, from DeSoto Central had one of the nastiest crossovers. I'm gonna drop it tomorrow when I get the film. He dropped the dude and then he sprayed him. It was so disgusting. When I drop it, you're gonna be like, wow, that's crazy. But those were the first 2 games, and I'll let you guys go ahead and jump back into the jump, and then I'll finish my last 2 games off after that.
All right. I can't wait to see the crossover. I mean, I'm excited about it. And I remember Whit playing, he came and played at our Talking Hoops in the SIP showcase a couple of years ago. He had a little white chocolate, if I remember. He got major swagger. Also, kid, they had a little major swagger, played for Ocean Streams, the kid Maddox Knoblich. Is that his Maddox Knoblich? You muted yourself, Keiko. Yeah, he's a kid. He's a kid that he's got a lot of swagger. He got a little white chocolate in his game too. I mean, he was shooting that thing. He got talking a little junk, but he couple of times he says he got Avery Thomas going, because Avery Thomas hit a shot, and I mean he started yapping a little bit. And let me just jump in about that. We got a little Twitter thing, little before I go, we got a little live chat geek going on. D1 Boy 14 says he's the best guard in the state, and my boy Jay Walker said, "Man, never heard of you. Who are you?" And so he says, "I'll serve you." So I don't know who that is and who's talking. Let us know. Let your name be known. Like, let us know who you are. So we can get in the geek too. But Knoblochs and Avery Thomas is showing that here's a kid, man, that was a role player and has just turned out to be, he's had a phenomenal summer, and he deserved everything he's gotten. And he's played. He's matter of fact, I was talking to I think Julian, who said, asked the question, has he? I mean, do we need to mention him? Is he pushing for that #1 ranking? And I think it's really early to tell, because I think EJ's, even though Raymond lost, I think EJ played well too that night as well, and he's been playing well. So EJ Payman, we're talking about. But those are 2 very good players, and another kid I had never seen. I want to mention Elijah Isom. I was really, some of these guys I don't get a chance to see on the coast. I was really impressed. A little short guard, about 5'6", tough. Wasn't afraid. Can play, swagger, run your team. I know JUCOs, if they're not on, and they should be. I don't know what year. Is he a senior, Keiko?
Yeah, this is Elijah's senior year. Maddox is a junior. They've been Batman and Robin for the last 3 years. That's been their top 2 scorers for the last 3 years.
Yeah, Elijah Isom, man, he's another one. When you have a kid like Elijah Isom, like I said, J.J. Watkins, and Jalen Barron, you can't go wrong. Those are like, I could, you give me any one of those and I'm cool, at my point guard. I think Barron, from the 3 of them, probably shoot the 3 ball the best out of the 3. I probably would take, from what I saw, again, you've seen Barron and Isom more than I've seen them, but just looking at him, I think JJ gets downhill. I would give him the edge of getting downhill a little better. But I mean, JJ is like, he's just unguardable. Like, and he showed me yesterday, even against a smaller guard, because usually a smaller guard, when they get at each other, they can pretty much sit down, and he still just can get. Provine got this thing where they put him in the corner, and he just goes like right around him. D1 Boy 14 says, JJ can't hold me, EV. I mean, we got the little, I like the live chief chat beef going on. Anyway, we got our man, Snacks. We just want to say hello, ESPN SB Awards Center. Thomas Snacks Lee in the building. What up, Snacks?
What's going on?
All right, we're gonna get you involved here shortly because I know you saw a couple games, but we're gonna move right along. I want to go to that Ridgeland Pedal game. Now we didn't have, here's what I want. Ridgeland is 5A shoes.
They're 6.
6A. Listen, I'm telling you this. Now we talking about Terry, but the Ridgeland Titans, that's what they are. If the refs don't foul out Ebo, because that's the only way he's gonna foul out, because I don't think the kid fouls that much, to be honest with you. If he stays in the game, he gives them a chance against anybody. Because Ridgeland's guards are really, really good.
He makes it impossible to get baskets. It's almost impossible to get baskets at the rim.
You can't
get any baskets at the rim against them when he's in the game.
There's no way. He's 6'9", great body. If you watch him when he comes on the when he hedges on the screens, he already can hedge on the screen. He can even sit down. Some kid tried to ISO him and said, "Oh," and they said a guard had him. He's, "Oh," they said, "Go to work." He said, he even said a word. I mean, he blocked it like he was a Jolly Green Giant. I mean, if he didn't block that thing and just halfway smile at him like, like, man, what are you thinking? He doesn't say, he doesn't say a word, so right there, that just scares you because you don't know what's going on in that big mind of his. Because I mean, if that's not a big kid, Ridgeland, they handle Pedal pretty well with our Pedal star player, won by a lot. Ridgeland, Phil Nelson, who I am a big fan of Phil Nelson. He's a kid that is a junior who can really get downhill, get to that. He's really a mid-range assassin, and he can get downhill. He's gotten some, his athleticism. He will dunk on you if you ain't careful. The thing that I will say, and I'm just using these off the 2 games I've had a chance to see them play twice, that I would say I'm shocked that he's not shooting the ball well from the free throw line. You're talking about he's shooting probably 60%, and that's unacceptable for Phil Nelson. Too talented of a player to do that, but everything else he does well. Another kid on Ridgeland who I didn't know who he was, but I know him now. Servant Watkins. I mean, I saw him go to work on Clinton. He had 27, and he did what he do, whatever he wanted to do. I mean, he had some yah. He got that thing in his bag. I like Ridgeland's, three guards, and then they have Cameron Snow, number 23. That's pretty good. And then they have my boy number 25, my man Reggie, coming off the bench. The little fella who played against JJ in my Geekers Challenge 1-on-1. He ain't nothing to sneeze at. He's a kid. He showed all type of heart, in that, and he's a good player for Ridgeland. And then they have the former Coach Davison's son, who's pretty good. So Ridgeland is loaded at the guard spot to go along with Ebo, and they are a team. Don't be surprised. They could, choose. Talk to me. Do you think they are for me, I think that they are a potential get to Jackson team.
Oh, they contender. I thought they're coming into the season. I've seen them some during the summer with Ebo. I'm like you. Steve Ott, whatever his name is, has been a major surprise. I did not realize he was going to be as good for them as he is. I've seen him around in the gym and things, but I hadn't seen him play with them to this level. He's been really good for them. In the Jamboree, he was really good for them. So he's giving them a big lift. Phil is a good thing. Phil will be consistent for people. Like I said, you can't get anything real again with Ebo out there. So I definitely think they're a contender to get to Jackson. They're in a competitive region. They've got Vicksburg. They've got Callaway. They've got Columbus in the region with them. So it's not going to be a pushover. They should be. They and Vicksburg are probably the favorites in the region, I would say.
Hey, I
don't know.
Wait.
I was going to say I'm gonna to see the Delonte to tell us how good Columbus can be.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead,
Talante,
Delonte. How good is Columbus?
yeah, tell, go ahead and segue. We'll let segue into that Columbus game. Talk to us.
All right, segue. So,
Yeah.
Columbus, they had a tough one. So, even you came last year and Shoes came the first year. By the time we get to the 5 o'clock in the last two games with Columbus and New Hope when they play, the crowd getting there gets the intensity grows a little bit more because the crowd's there. And so Cleveland Central played Columbus last night, and of course, Cleveland Central coach Barry Hill brings his guys in ready to play. Man, I kid you not, the game was played from tip off. You know what I'm saying? They had like some little because Cleveland Central they beat Columbus last year and put them out the playoffs, and they beat them pretty good. So they had a little rivalry going on from the summertime too. So I kid you not, the end of the first quarter, well, it was like 3 minutes left in the first quarter. The score was 2-2. That's how hard guys were playing defense. Like it was it was
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you froze up on us.
that kind of game where guys want to give days. Things started to open up, but it was a very, very. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Can y'all hear me? But yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, the score. You know what I'm saying? Toward the end of the first quarter, was almost 2-2 with 3 minutes to go. But it was a very high level game throughout. And then, guys, of course, as the course of the game goes on, things start to open up. Players start to make plays, hit shots, and everything like that. And the crowd gets behind them. It's kind of like a home game, even for Columbus being at New Hope because it's still in Columbus. So the crowd is going to be, what I'm saying, pro Columbus. But yeah, Columbus got some dudes, man. Like I said, Cleveland Central got some dudes. Of course, you got Taylor Berryhill, the coach's son. I think he's a really good guard. I know y'all been talking about the smaller guards under the 6 foot guards. He's about 5'8". He's a really good guard to me. Complete point guard, can run the show, make shots, make guys better. You got Sampson. I kid you not, Sampson almost had the dunk of the tournament. I'm not gonna lie to you. He almost dunked on two guys from Columbus. It was one of the bigs and another guy, but it like bounced out. If he would have finished that one, he probably could have been on Sports Center last night. I ain't gonna even lie to you. It was that type of dunk. But they got some other guys. They got Tony Bradley. So Cleveland Central got some guys that can play. Columbus have a squad. They have a squad to me. Like I know y'all been talking about going to Jackson. To me, I think they can be really, really good. You look at the record from last year. They made the playoffs. They won. I think they really underachieved last year. Because guys, you know how you got those teams, you got a lot of talent, but guys don't really understand their roles and how to make it work. That's what they were dealing with last year. I think now they figured it out. They've had a great start to the season. They got Jaden Tatum. He committed, and I think, yeah, he committed to Northeast. He's about 6'3". He can really shoot it. He's a great offensive guy. They got Jeremiah Aaron. He's about 6'3", goon style guy, can get a lot of stuff done. They got BB. BB's about 6. BB probably about 6'7". He's improved a whole bunch. They're seniors. And then they got Jace. They got Jace O'Neal. He plays the point guard spot for them. And to me, Jace is one of the best point guards in the state. Definitely to me, I think I go on to say it's not. I think Jace is the best. He's definitely the best point guard, one of the best guards in that 2025 class. When y'all come see him in Jackson, he must see TV. He's long, 6'2", shifty, crafty around the rim, makes guys better. Always gets some great defensive blocks. So y'all, when he come to Jackson, y'all definitely gonna have to go check him out. He played in the Shoes. You got to see him the last time. You probably got to see him play. He did play in the Talking Hoops in the SIP showcase that year. I came over there and you guys were like, man, you know what I'm saying? He was killing, so he's gotten a lot better. He's really, really good. I really like him a lot. So Columbus, they will be a team to watch. And then they got a lot of good.
What's the big kid they got?
They call it's Marion. I think it's Marion Smith. I think this is his real name. He about 6'7".
They got another one, don't they? What the kid? Oh, I mean, he might be a New Hope kid. I might have him kid New Hope mixed up with thinking he could Columbus. The one that was an All-Star game this summer.
You talking about you say it was an All-Star game?
There was a kid in the All-Star game over that way. He might be a New Hope then. I might have New Hope.
But yeah, Columbus will be really good. So I'm really interested to see how that region play out. I think it's gonna be a really good region, like you guys said. I definitely think Ridgeland, and it's probably going to be Ridgeland. My two top picks probably going to be Ridgeland and Columbus. I think those are the most talented teams. I know Columbus got a lot of talent, and I've been hearing a lot about Ridgeland as well this year. So those will probably be my top two teams inside of that region to me. But we never know how it's going to unfold. You know, it's a big travel gap, you know, coming to Columbus for a lot of the teams coming from Jackson. So that's on a Tuesday, Thursday night, you know what I'm saying? That could be that's an interesting travel thing for both ways. Even, you know, a 3 hour drive to Vicksburg. So, you know, that's a long way on the school day on the school bus. So you never know how that's gonna play into in
Yeah.
fact. Then the last
No,
then the last
I
go
wanted to
ahead.
say that to you, to Lante. That's a great point that you made. A 2 hour, you know, 3 hour trip on a school bus. You're exactly right. That's different than a charter bus. You know, so that is a, you know, I know people don't think that matters, but you know, little stuff like that does. Go ahead, Lante.
And yeah, then the last game of the night, we had I was joking with Coach Drew over at New Hope. I was like, man, I giving you guys some tough, you know what I'm saying, some tough games. And you guys are hosting the tip off class. Like the first year they had MRA with Hubbard. And shout out to Hubbard. Hubbard record still stand today. 37 points. Nobody's gonna. I don't know from looking at it, it's gonna be tough for somebody to come and break that scoring record at the tip off. But I told Coach Drew, I was like, man, I gave you MRA the first year, and then last year Olive Branch. They had a bomb burner with Olive Branch last year. EVU was there to see that game, so that was a nail biter that they lost there too. So this year, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to get them a tough team. So I picked North Panola. North Panola's a 3A team, but they're very scrappy and they never quit. If you talk to anybody about North Panola, they come in, they play hard. And it was a game that could have went either way. I'm not going to even lie to you about it. It was a game that could have went either way. It was tight throughout. D. Robinson, he had kind of a slow start, so of course we know he's the man for North Panola. T.J. Warren and Isaac Grady, they came and pretty much got everything going for New
Great.
Hope.
That's the one I was about. He's a New Hope. Okay, that's the kid
Yeah,
I was
yeah. So he's a senior. He
yeah.
came in. He had some electric dunks. If you look on the Instagram post, he had a lot of electric dunks. He had a body. He got things going. TJ finished with. TJ actually had more points than him. TJ finished with like 20. TJ's a sophomore. He's a talented sophomore that guys need to watch for. So in 5A, New Hope is going to be. New Hope's coming out the north in 5A. But like we were saying, they're gonna have to match up with those guys like Yazoo City, Canton,
Is this
Cleveland.
Central?
You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough way when we get out of our side, but on this side they should just run through it. But the game was great, man. Like I said, Coach Caleb Vaughn, he does a great job over there with the guys at North Panola. They come in, they play hard, they're very scrappy. They had a chance. They had cut it down to like 2 points at one point. It was 44-46. But they ended up losing by 10, 50-60. But man, it was a great game all the way throughout. Most of the games are usually tight at the tip-off classic. Yesterday was pretty much the same. High intensity games were close, but it was a great day, man. It went real smooth. You know, this year was a little different for me myself too, because I was kind of, you know what I'm saying, by myself. I ain't had the extra help, but everything went smooth, man. I love it. I'm looking forward to next year. As well, I've been thinking about that all day. Like, man, how can we make it better? What teams we gonna get in there for next year? So I'm really looking forward to what we're building and how it's been growing so far.
Lante,
That's
let me ask
awesome.
you something. Have you seen or heard much about what's going on up there at Tupelo? How they look with the new guys? Have they
Um,
played yet?
yeah, they played yesterday. Actually, I think they lost to South Pontotoc yesterday. I think it was by 1 or 2. But South Pontotoc's a really good team too, because people to look
Yeah,
at
they
that,
good.
you'll be like South Pontotoc, but they say Pacey Matthews had like 34. And Pacey Matthews, he's pretty good, you know. So
Pace is good. He just does, he just plays ball. He just solid as a rock all the way across.
yeah, so if Pacey Matthews was 6'6", we'll be hearing a lot more about, you know what I'm saying, Pacey Matthews playing the post, you know, because he's really good. He can really play. So I don't want people to be like, man, they got beat by South Pontotoc. Like they can play basketball. So one thing about most of those teams up north,
Probably one of the top 4A teams in the state.
yeah, so one thing about the North team, they take it serious. They're going to play, you know what I'm saying? They're going to game plan. The coaches are coaching to win. So it's not like you just going to come in there and just beat these guys, because it's not going to happen like that. But yeah, man, I think Tupelo is still going to be really good. It's still early right now, so it's still early for a lot of teams to get new pieces, trying to figure out how it's going to work. You might have to change some formations, change how you run stuff. So it's still early for a lot of people, but it's been a lot of good games. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all been seeing a lot of good games in the Jackson area. Things haven't really picked up in my area like that, but I think this week we have a lot of good matchups coming up this week in the North. That should, you know what I'm saying, live up to the same building that y'all been getting in the Jackson area so far.
I just want to let you know, my boy from D114 said he's the best player in the North. He said he broke Hubbard's record. He had 45. And so he played at Water Valley.
Hey, that's somebody trolling.
He said he played at Water Valley.
Oh,
and
okay.
So I'm just trying to, I said, hey, give us your name so we can give you a real shout out, So I'm waiting on that from D114. Hey, going back to the jump, finishing it up. Hey, K. Cole, Pedal. Have you seen Pedal play? Is that down in your way a little bit, or you hadn't really seen them?
Yeah, Pedal right outside of Hattiesburg, but the Pedal that I saw yesterday ain't the Pedal that I'm used to. They had a state championship team 2 or 3 years ago when they had Christian Parks, the big 6'7" kid that plays for Holmes now, and those really, really good guards. I think one of them guards is at Holmes as well. They got a young big kid, Lavelle, I can't think of his name right now. What's his name? Ethan Long. And of course he didn't play yesterday, so they had to match up for him and Evo, and it didn't happen. So it's kind of hard to say what Pedal's going to be. They hadn't been really good in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, okay. the whole allure of Pedal was still having Ethan there. So
right.
It kind of threw that their coming kind of didn't materialize into what it was expected to be with Ethan not playing. And there are rumors that he may be leaving. Well, I'm gonna throw it out there. There are rumors that he may be leaving, that may be thinking about leaving.
So let me ask you this: realistically, how big of a difference do you think the game would have been if he would have played?
I don't think it would have been a major difference.
I'm not being funny. I'm just asking.
I don't think it would have been much different. They actually only lost by 10. Now they were down 20 something. When he played originally played the last 4 or 5 minutes with most of their subs, and so they were able to cut it to 10. I don't think it's that much different game with him. I just think it would have been nice to have seen the matchup of what he could do against Ebo. I don't necessarily think it would have been that much of a different game. What about you, Cole?
I agree 100%. I mean, I think he probably would have made a little bit of a difference, but I don't think they would have beat him. Even if he would have played, I don't think they would have beat. Ridgeland's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, moving right along, I want to go to Brandon and Callaway, and then finishing up with, because it was a bunch of games. It was, 7 games. Snacks, I'm gonna get you jump in. What game did you see, Snack? Because you was at the jump for a minute. What game did you see? And then talk to us about what you saw yesterday.
No, only game I got to see was the Provine Harrison Central.
But talk to us a little bit about what you saw. And
I think both teams gonna have a chance to make a good postseason run. Like I say, Provine, like I said, they got a good solid 6 or 7, like always. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see kind of how that plays out throughout the season. I think, of course, you got your Marjay Hortons and your Javian Watkins and Cobus, but I think like Raquel, I think he does a great job. And another player that I think just put in a lot of work over all seasons is the Mari kid. He got like the dreads.
He made good yesterday.
Yeah, he I think you can kind of tell the test of his offseason work that he gave them some productive minutes. He was hitting a lot of mid-range jump shots, high energy on both ends. So I think that, like you say, once them guys kind of game plan for the JJs, EJs, and Kobe, I definitely think them two guys gonna kind of be them wild cards that if they come ready to play, they can help get Provine over the hump.
Also,
Look, I said in my text earlier about, but I want to one of something we talk about a lot of kids Provine, but I think it's another one more kid deserves to mention. He had a really good game yesterday, some strong, nice finishes around the ring. Is it Jamal? What's Jamal's last name? Henderson?
I think
What's
it is.
Jamal's last name? The other side center for them.
It might be Henderson. Yeah, I think it is Henderson.
Is that the long kid that got the
He had a
dunks
really
in the
good game
baseline?
for them yesterday. Oh, yeah. The underside center for them. He plays hard. He rebounds the ball. He'll block shots. He's really athletic. And he had a really good game for him yesterday also. And I just wanted to, I think the thing about Provine, for them to go far, I mean, we expect them to go far. They're one of those teams that when you hear that saying, the sum is greater than the parts. You hear that saying about the sum is greater than the parts. I think all their pieces fit together real nicely, and them playing off each other and everything is what's really going to kind of help make them click.
Let me ask y'all. Do y'all think 5A is gonna be? I think 5A might be harder this year than it was last year to win for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at how everything's shaping up, because it's still some pretty good teams in 5A too.
Yeah.
So 5, 6A, you know what I'm saying? And then you add Yazoo City to the mix. I see they've been killing teams. I don't know what all they got besides Hoover and Winston, but they've been doing pretty well to start the season off just by looking at the, you know what I'm saying, the scores and everything.
Yeah, but
they got the PG that's been good too.
They had 3.5 starters back. They had 3.5 starters back because a lot of folks don't realize the big kid that started for them started all of the first half last year before the Bayman kid got in the starting lineup after he came off the football field. So the Crozier kid started the first half of last year for them. So they got basically 4 starters back. A lot of folks didn't realize that. Yep.
I want to. Where were we at? Oh, let's go to Greenville Lanier yesterday, and that was the second game of the day. Greenville winning that game, a close one over Lanier. Let me just talk about Bo's team. Bo's team and Lanier really young, just a young bunch of guys. Bo's gonna have them ready. And to me, a kid that I really, really love, and when I look at the top sophomores, I think he's a sophomore. Or if he's not a sophomore, he's a junior, but I think he's a sophomore. Lasavian Banks.
Yeah, I think he's a sophomore.
Love him. Him and Ashton Manuel from Callaway will go heads up. These next 2 years, really special. I think he's athletic. He can shoot the basketball. Got a little wiggle in his game. Get a little yah in his game. And give Timothy Speaks credit. He comes back to his old school, Madison Central, where he also coached at Callaway last year, and took a Greenville Hornet team and came down, and they were down most of the game and came back and won. They were led by guy Manuel Wells, a left-handed senior who could really shoot the basketball. He had 18 points. He's people can say whatever they want. I only known Coach Speech for a couple of years. You guys know him better. He won a state championship in Merle. The man can coach. I mean, he just gets it done. I mean, you gotta, hats off to him, man. He just gets it done. Talk to us a little bit. Anything about you guys, K-Cole, anything special you saw at Greenville Lanier or shoes?
Just hard game. I'm looking like you. I did not realize that Lanier was that young. And I'm looking at their roster now. They got just about all freshmen and sophomores. He's got 2 seniors listed on here. I'm not even sure if they're playing. But he's got just about all freshmen and sophomores on that roster. But they played well yesterday. They just couldn't quite get over the hump against a little more seasoned Greenville team. I think Greenville's playing with some older guys, a little bit older. They got more seniors and juniors on their roster, which goes a long way to being able to claim. Like you say, Tim is a really good coach. He knows what he's doing. And he's won everywhere he's been, had success everywhere he's been. Madison Central, Merle, some success to a point at Callaway, had success at Bailey. He's been good everywhere he's been. So it doesn't surprise me that he's got them playing solid ball. They're in that region with Yazoo, Canton, Holmes, and Cleveland Central. So they're another team to throw into the mix over there in that region.
Woo. That's a pretty loaded group right there, too. I just saw from Ron Davis on our live chat, just to throw in, he said Canton Starkville was a really good one. Canton getting that win 51-40. Beating Canton, beating Starkville 51-40. You can never count out Starkville. 2 more games with the jump. Port Gibson, Park Lane. I just want to say, Cameron Brown, seemed like Cameron Brown's, he's an 8-year starter in high school. It seemed like he's been around forever. He's just one of them kids, man. He started at Vicksburg as a freshman, really good kid, really can play, can get downhill. I really think his best, he really, one-on-one, he's a tough check. He really is. I think he had, 14, 15, maybe even 16 yesterday. For Port Gibson, they lost to Park Lane. I wanted to just mention him first. Cameron will, at one point held the Jackson State offer. Don't know if that's still there. I believe he's, obviously will go to any JUCO in the state, because great body.
He committed to Pearl River.
Yeah, he committed to Pearl.
Okay, well,
Pearl
there it
River.
is. And there it is. They say less then, Pearl River, Pearl River. If he committed to Pearl River, y'all know what that is. Pearl River is always, on the top guards and top players in the state. So that lets you know he's a top 10 kid in that class. Played well. But I want you to understand something. Brewer Caruth, for me, is the most ready kid from a wing perspective. I don't look at him as a combo guard. I look at him strictly as a wing. There's a difference. He's not a kid to me that can play 1 and 2. He's a kid that can play 2 and 3 at the next level, and really more so a 3, because I think he would defend a bigger kid better than he can a kid like 6'2". He had trouble a little bit guarding Cam Brown, but Cam Brown had real trouble guarding him. I mean, if he didn't shoot over anybody they put on him, I'm telling you, he was a strong guard. I mean, he got any shot he wanted. He didn't, there was nobody could do anything with him. I just love him. I think Jay Ladner got a steal. I really do. I think if he had a little bit more bounce, now you're talking about he might have been an SEC player. But he's I think it's the perfect level for him. I like him. He does a phenomenal job, knows how to play, plays hard. I've watched him since the 9th grade, just continuously got better. I mean, he just got better every year. Started out with NBA OSAG, finished with, I think, Hawksy League, and had a great summer. Shout out to Brewer Caruth, big fan. Talked to his shoes, and Cole, y'all were there. What's y'all thought?
Well, the camp down in Loyola. Now he was one of the top 3 or 4 players there. Like you said, he can shoot it. He can put it on the floor. He's semi-athletic. I like his size and I like his length. I think he'll be a great fit for Jay. Then I like the fact that I heard he was a football player, so that gives him a little bit of toughness. So the fact that he got some football in him, and then like I say, he can shoot the ball. I think he really has a good chance at USM of getting some time.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime. See, I want you guys to understand something. Those of us who played a little bit of football, and I haven't played in a long time. There's one thing that is you call basketball toughness. You have some tough guys in basketball, but there's another thing when you get on that football field. That's when you really understand a guy is really tough. That one that puts his hand in the dirt, that's a different level of toughness. And the fact that he did that, there's no question that, Shoes, you got anything to say about that one?
Well, and I thought it was a good competitive game. I'm going to say this. I think Park Lane is going to be a tough out in the private school ranks also. They got size. They're big. They're rangy. They were really they were hard to score against yesterday because with all their length and size, it's hard to find shots. Like I said earlier about Terry, it's very similar. They got a they got and man, that little sophomore point guard they had yesterday. We got
Yes,
to
sir.
Yeah, Quintarius Thompson. I was gonna mention it. He
Yeah,
could shoot the basketball, aka Hugh. And then the big, number 33, Jack, 6'7", very active. Really
Yeah,
like.
he
I think
was.
his first name is Jack. Alex told me a little bit about it. What his name was, but shout out to you. We just don't have. I don't have it right in front of me, but I think his name is.
They have him listed. His name is John Michael Lampton. So maybe Jack is what they call him.
Maybe it was John Michael Lampton. It was something. It was a J something. But But I can tell you this: loved him, tough, played hard, clogged up the middle, just got in people's way. I mean, yeah, he's my type of big. I know.
What class is Heritage?
I think I think 4A.
Okay, Park Lane is 5. Park Lane is 5 this year.
Hold on, I'm finna go look.
Yeah, Park Lane is no question, and it's gonna be a tough out. And let me say this while we're talking about Park Lane. When I look at some coaches in this state that I've had a chance to listen and watch, and people may say, Evie, what makes you able to put a stamp on a coach? Well, I've been a coach for 30 years, so that makes me be able to put it. And I'm gonna put a stamp on Alex Ainsworth. I listened to him, I watched him, I heard him, I saw he did elite. When I think about the young legend Anthony Carlisle at Yazoo City, obviously, he's for me, he's the cream of the crop. He's the number one for EV. Anthony Carlisle, for what he has done, is the number one coach in the state of Mississippi and one of the top in the country. I mean, the man, I just got to give him his props for what he does in high school. Like, he's elite. Tony Tadlock, he's right up there. He's one of the top guys. I mean, those are guys that you just have to. But I'm telling you this, I was super impressed with Alex Ainsworth. When I sat over there and listened to every set that he called, everything that he talked about on defense, how he communicated with his kids, there's no question in my mind that I could play. I would want my kid playing for him. And there's other, coaches in the state. If I didn't call your name, there's other good ones. But those, like when I think about those two guys, but I just wanted to mention that I was really, really impressed with Alex Ainsworth and what he did, over there with Park Lane. And Alex, coached at Mississippi College for several years as an assistant. He was assistant coach at Southwest. So it's not his first rodeo. He's been around for a while. And Shoes, didn't Alex play a little ball around here or something?
Played at Belhaven. He played basketball.
Played at Belhaven. Okay. So
he still plays in the open and above over 30 league here in Jackson. Oh, he's one of the best shooters in the league. Man, Alex gonna miss it. Hey man, I might pay to what I might put my money on Alex with you, dog.
Oh, stay in character, Shoes. Stay in character.
I might put my money on Alex with you, man.
Stay in character. Stay in character now. Let's not get out of character. Alex hey, I want you to understand something. If Alex is watching this, Alex Ainsworth has gotten the scouting report on me from other coaches. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not try to put people. I mean, I had to throw my little stuff out there the other day. Just ask Snacks. Snacks know what time it is. I had to pop. He think he can shoot a little bit. Snacks shoot that snack shot. That's what I call it now. That used to be what I used to do in the game consistently, but I can't. But right now, my knees won't let me be great. But
I'm just telling you now, Alex is a shooter. I'm just telling you now, he's a shooter.
Yeah, all I'm gonna do is chuckle.
You know I like the star stuff.
All right.
Like controversy.
The last game of the day, Brandon Callaway, won by Brandon. Is it Braylon or Brandon Barnes?
Braylon.
What is it?
Braylon. Braylon.
Braylon. That's what I thought. Braylon Barnes, and I got it confused a little bit with Rod Barnes' sons, Brandon. Braylon Barnes had 21 points. And listen, Braylon Barnes has just turned, I remember him as a skinny little kid. You know, coach's son, 9th grade. Listen, for all those he can play. Braylon Barnes is a Division I player, in my opinion. He can shoot the basketball long. But I want to make this clear. As much as I love Braylon Barnes, he deserved the MVP. Obviously, got 21 points for, he won the MVP of the game. But I want you to understand.
It should have been co-MVP.
Ain't no question, because the most important player, in my opinion, on that Brandon team is my man, Nate White. I'm telling you, Nate White, the big fella, about 6'3", undersized post. Nobody's probably offered the kid, but they should. He is a kid. He's gotten his body in shape. I don't like Nate White. I actually love Nate White. He got the left hand jump hook. He got everything you want on that block. He undersized, but I'm just telling you this. He can be on my team. And
he worked over all the bigs for Callaway yesterday. And Callaway got 2 or 3 guys standing about 6'6".
That's right.
He always real solid though.
Work on. Huh?
That's it, Snack. That's what he's solid. And you know what? I got some stuff coming out here soon about some solid players and people that don't, that don't give people problems. He's the poster child for solid. You know who else is the poster child for solid? The most solid PG. And I used to watch him. I used to play against him. He used to kick my behind, and I would always say, "Man, he's just solid." But $153 million later, $153 million later, who do y'all think I'm talking about? Solid in the NBA.
Conley?
Mike Conley. Just solid.
Mike Conley.
What did he do? The only thing he does is just make 150. He just
win.
Have you ever seen him? You ain't never seen him do that. He just come down and just get it done. So I want y'all all to understand. It's okay.
EB, that's something the point we can use to make. Guys love to see, people love the guys that I do all this and that. Man, it's more guys in the league and making money because they can do, the term is they know how to get to their spots. They know how to get to their spots without all that extra. It's more guys in the league making money to do that than it is all them flashy guys, the all-stars, they do that. The rest of them guys down the bench, they are perfected being not non-flashy and efficient.
Right. You're exactly right. Listen, as we get ready to shut down, man, it's been, it just seemed like, man, we started talking, man, about basketball and stuff. It's like, man, before you know it, man, it's 90 minutes in. I do have to mention, I was at the Clinton. I want to talk about a couple girls. I was at Clinton versus Terry. And again, atmosphere off the chain. Like, it's worth the price. I got there at 4 o'clock because I wanted to, I actually wanted to, I heard that it was going to be, if you didn't get there, you could get, you couldn't get in the game. And they were exactly right. It was a sellout. And a couple kids from Clinton, obviously, Dandy Dozen, 2-time Dandy, should be 3-time Dandy. Taylor Felton, did what Taylor Felton does. She had about 15 that game. No question, the best point guard in the state. 5'3". If Taylor was 5'8", we'd be talking about her going to Mississippi State, places like that. Taylor, and even Taylor's just still got a lot of work to do to even be great, even greater as far as at the next level. She just got to work on her communication, skills. And one thing I realized, Shoes, and Snacks and everybody, sometimes kids don't know when to shoot. They don't know, like, am I supposed to shoot this, or what am I supposed to do? And I see that sometime in a lot of kids, they just don't know what's a good shot, or should I shoot this? Sometimes they'll turn down a good shot and then take a tough shot. How many times you've seen a kid wide open from the 3, you can just hit 2 in a row, and then you want to pump fake and show people that you just knock down the shot again. Just keep knocking it down, keep shooting. And so Clinton, great game, lost on a buzzer beater. Miss Branson from Terry won the game 44-43. Terry beat them by 1. Phenomenal game. I don't want Elias. I don't want E. Branson. I think they call her Pooh. Won the game for Terry. Terry has a great freshman. They got 2 very good freshmen. They got Madison Jones, who I think just had a triple-double the other day. She's 6'1", has a South Alabama offer. She's really good. Right now, her best basketball, her best thing that she does is really defend and rebound, block shots. Her best basketball is ahead of her. But she did have a triple-double in another game. She didn't have a triple-double that game that I was at, but she did have 6 blocks in that game. And Malia Young, she is a young kid, has a strong body for a 2027 kid. She played well. And also for Clinton girls, the veteran, Jatoy Johnson. I call her the veteran because she's played a lot of basketball. She played well. And then Ari Jones. Ari Jones for Clinton is that third cog in the wheel right now until Lacey Davis comes back. And then I saw Clinton versus Ridgeland play, and they beat Ridgeland. Taylor Felton had 20 points in that game, played really well. And as they beat Ridgeland, and for Ridgeland, Ava Young, well, the point guard for Ava Young is really good. She's really one of the top defensive kids in the state. Got to continue to work on her 3-ball and offensive game. She's really good at the mid-range and getting to the basket. Like to see her shoot the ball from the 3-ball, but she's tough as nails. Straight dog. She don't play. Love her toughness. So those are the games there that I saw. And Clinton boys, I gotta mention Clinton boys.
Let me say this, feeding off while you're talking about the girls. The Terry Raymond game was a barn burner also the other night. It went overtime. Terry pulled that one out. I'm not sure who did what. I got there late in the game and I didn't look at the scoreboard, but it was an exciting, tough, down to the wire game, and it was both teams played hard, and it went to overtime also. So Terry's got 2 really good close wins over two programs that are usually pretty darn good. The girls, Terry girls. So they're setting themselves up to look like they might be one that you got to contend with this year.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They also have on that team at Terry Tanaya Watts, and again she's a senior. And then, like I said, the young lady, the point guard. I can't call her first name. Her last name is Branson. I know she has a nickname. I don't know if it's Pooh or not, and please forgive me. I interviewed her after her and her coach, but I'm trying to look for the name, and I can't find it. But she won the game and plays hard. She ain't nothing to play with, and so. But anyway, Terry had a good, definitely a good good opening. So, Cordarius Jones not on today. He said he'll shoot both of us out. Alex and me. Cord is always talking crazy. I've already popped Cord several times and embarrassed him, and he doesn't want anything to do with me. So anyway, as we get ready, let's close with our last geek of the night. We'll start. That's where you got 30, 45 seconds to just share whatever you want. And
I do want to say one other thing about the last boys game. We talked about the 2 kids in Brandon, but we got to give Mallett, Jabari Mallett, his due. He was the leading scorer in the game last night.
He had 24. You're exactly right. That's right.
Made a lot of shots. Kept Callaway in the game. Had a really, really strong night. We're talking about guys. And I think what's the other kid?
Ashton.
Manuel.
Ashton had also.
Ashton, I think, had like 16 in that game, maybe.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention those guys also. They had strong, but Mallett had a really strong game last night.
Yeah, he had 24.
Really well. Yeah, 24.
And I meant to mention him. He's on my paper to mention and just got caught up in a geek. But yeah, Javar, Mallett's another one. He's only a junior and he's just been playing so long. It just feels like he's a senior, but he actually hasn't.
That was a really good day. The part of the day was a really good day for the junior class. between Dylan, Barnes, Ballard, and Maji. A lot of juniors had some really, really strong performances yesterday in the latter part of the day. Maddox had a strong one early. Maddox was really good early for Ocean Springs. So yesterday was a really good day for the junior class.
Yes, it was. I agree with you. All right, we'll get our last gigs of the day. We'll start with UK Cole. Just you think anything that you saw so far in this, some games that we may not have even seen or talked about right now. Anything you've seen so far early in the year?
We just had a couple guys that jumped out the gate real hot. I want to give shouts out to Reggie Connors. That's a senior guard for Biloxi. He jumped out the gate with a 32-point game. Also, I want to also give out shouts to Matt Crass. He's probably going to lead the coach in scoring. He jumped out the gate with a 34-point game, and then he had a 31-point game. People need to keep an eye on him. Like I said, he went back to his old school, St. Patrick's. He's going to have to carry them. He don't really have a whole lot of help, but he's going to put up some big numbers there. And Amir Abdul Rauf, they played their first game last night. He dropped 25 in his first game. So we got probably three guards that are going to probably put up some big numbers down here on the coast. Of course, like I say, Amir, he doesn't have a lot of help. They're real young this year. He's the only senior starter. And same way with Crash. He's pretty much don't have any. So I figured by them not having any help, they're going to have to be high-volume shooters to win games. So I look forward to those three guards like putting up big numbers this year on the coast.
Cole, did you see McCullum play tonight?
Who?
Hattiesburg. Did you see him play the other night?
I can't hear you.
McCullum from Hattiesburg.
Oh my goodness. It's funny that you mentioned that, and I wanted to say that earlier. This is the year of the small guards. It is some really high scoring small guards in the state of Mississippi. And Stephen McCullum from Hattiesburg, he probably averaging about 30. I know he gave Harrison Central 27, and I think he gave Picayune like 31. So he's another small guard that can light it up. Like I said, this is the year of the small guard in the state of Mississippi. And them JUCO people that don't like small guards, this is going to be a year, there's going to be a lot of them that they're going to end up signing because they don't have any choice because all them guys can flat out score the basketball.
Delonte.
I just want to, give a shout out to all the fans, coaches, players that made the tip off a success again this year. I want to wish everybody luck as they, embark on this new journey. I know it's the first week, so week 2 will start next week. Just always put your best foot forward. Like we always say, I know it's the beginning, but I want to go ahead and tell everybody, just enjoy the process, enjoy the ride. Enjoy practicing. Enjoy the games, so and don't take it for granted because sometimes it can be a short time and sometimes it can be a long time. So high school might be the end of the road for you, and some of y'all might be blessed to play at the next level. But this season, just go out there and try to enjoy the moment.
Next, real quick, talk to me a little bit about as you close, as part of your closing. I know you went anything, you'll have a little longer. But talk to us a little bit about Josh Hubbard and Mississippi State. I saw, I think you probably was at the game, and so we want to give a little space to them. And then in the future, we'll start doing a little JUCO stuff, wrap up. If anybody you want to talk about their shoes, anybody want to add anything about that? Because I know JUCO started as well. And but Snacks, go ahead and mention it. Keiko, if you want to come back and talk about anybody you saw in JUCO, that'd be great. But Snacks, talk to us a little bit about Mississippi State and Josh Hubbard.
Man, like you say, man, I know pretty much all of us seen it now. That he had a stellar first performance as a freshman at their first game back in the home. I mean, efficient across the board, the epitome of efficiency. 7 for 12 from a freshman, man. That's by far very, very impressive. And 5 for 8 from the three. Just think about any other that's special. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of kids gonna go out there and shoot 8, 9 threes, they might go 3, 3 for 8, 2 for 8, you know what I'm saying? So to be over 50% in college game where these ain't all just spot up open looks. These looks where they contested. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I think he had a very, very special performance. Like I said, he's been playing well, and I think that's the game that's gonna ensure that he averages that double figures over the course of the year. I think he gonna do it. I really do. I think he's gonna average. I really say, if I got to give my accurate estimate right now, yeah, we can come back and evaluate at the end of the season. I'm saying this freshman season. In his freshman season, he's gonna average 17.
Oh, he's player. I'm gonna make this clear. I want to
I
make this clear before anybody else say anything. I don't want nobody else say. I ain't letting nobody else talk. If he averages 17, he is freshman. He's SEC freshman year. He'll be first team All Freshman, All American. He might be freshman. He
gonna make the freshman team for sure. I think.
I'm talking about national. We're not talking about SEC. He's gonna be national first team All Fresh. 17 points. That's a lot of points now. And I mean, he had a phenomenal first game.
I think he's just scratching the surface, though.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a Josh Hubbard. I'm a Josh Hubbard fan. I think that he is on the NBA's radar because he's a kid. I really do. I believe he's a kid that, with his, he can shoot the basketball. He can run. He can run your team. And one of the things that in talking, I know, talking to some of the guys, around down there. He can defend. He's a better defender than what people realize. But that's not a surprise either because at the end of the day, he's such a great athlete. And when Wayne Brent gives you a stamp of approval.
Yeah,
I don't need to hear nobody else talk. Wayne Brent said that was the thing that impressed him. And so,
but I never really, to be honest, I don't know though. I never understood where that narrative just completely came from that he couldn't guard though. Like,
well,
what did they come from?
Well, I think it came from the fact he wasn't asked to guard. Let's just face it. In high school, I don't ask. I mean, personally, I don't ask my elite guys to go. I need them to stay out of foul trouble because at the end of the day, I always tell the players. I say, Coach, when they get 2 fouls, oh, Coach, you can trust me. I said, yeah, I can trust you, but I can't trust them. And so that's where I think part of it. And let's just face it, that's not what he did at MRA. He put the ball on in the hole at a high clip. That's what he did. And so
he put the ball in the hole.
Yeah, I wasn't asking. I wasn't asking him. And nobody's asking. I don't even. For me, he would have never guarded the best player because I don't even want to think about getting a foul. I'm going off on him if he fouled. I need you to stay on the court and knock down shots. And now the fact that he's able to go to Mississippi State and do that's phenomenal. So shout out to Josh Hubbard. He went out to Arizona and then came back home and had 22 points. That's not an easy task to put 22 points up.
They Snacks, yeah, I was in the business. 17 Snacks. Don't nobody on that team average like that. So that's the only reason I don't think he'll do it.
That's another thing, Shields. I agree with you. I agree. I can't.
I do think he'll be an all freshman, all SEC freshman though.
I do too.
All SEC freshman though.
Yeah.
That's what Tulu Smith averaged last year for them. He averaged like 16.9 or 16.8. So he's going to be back. He's going to be back in the second half of the season.
They ain't had no perimeter scoring, consistent perimeter scoring last year, though.
I say he averaged about 12 Snacks. I'm going to give him about 12. Because I don't know if they're going to put him in the starting lineup as a freshman. They say, what's his name? Don't believe in freshmen starting.
Yeah, that's and if he averages 12, he'll be like if he averages 12, that's really, really good across the country. He'll be in the running for if he averages 12. And here's the thing: we want to make this clear, Snacks. He's capable of averaging, like his abilities can. Yes, we ain't talking about his ability. We know his ability. He can put up 17. Yeah, he proved that. I just don't think he's gonna be allowed. And the thing is this though, but let's the one thing I can say about the Hubbards now, and so they are men of faith. So faith supersedes all this that we're talking about. So with God, all things are possible. So me, I can flip right into the word. Now, so I ain't got no problem with that. But in my natural eyes, the natural will happen. But at the end of the day, we can all safely say and agree that he is going to have a great first year. There's no doubt about that. He's proven in a short time that he's going to have a great year. Anything else, Snacks, that you want to add?
I got a chance to see that Clinton what was it, Clinton Ridgeland game?
Yeah, talk to us.
Man, that game was good. Like I say, down the stretch, that last 2 minutes, nobody else was touching that rock with Trey Alexander. And like I say, rightfully so. He willed him down the stretch. He made some timely ones. But I think, I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be super tough to beat that team when they rolling. Him and Kyrie together, and they got another junior kid. I don't know his name.
Real deal. I got his name. Hello, Jacoby. Real deal.
Yeah.
Real deal.
Yeah.
Real deal.
Yeah.
You remember Jimmy Cabot? You remember the name Jimmy Cabot, play ball around here a lot? That's his nephew.
Okay.
Real deal. World. Jacoby Cabot is his name. I'm gonna say
he competes. He competes though.
Listen,
he competes at a high level though.
I want to make this clear. Kari Hamilton and Jacoby Cabot are the best, to me, two of the better on-ball defensive guards in the state. I mean, they guard at a high level. Jacoby Cabot guarded at over at Terry, ripped somebody, went down and dunked it. Flat dog. Kari Hamilton, part of the reason, Phil Nelson, who I love, Kari Hamilton did a phenomenal job on field the other night, gave him problems because of his size. Kari's always been that kid who defends. Kari had 15 the other night, 15 against in a win against Ridgeland. That dynamic, along with Cameron and then the twins, Clinton is going to be a tough out in 7A. They're gonna be.
I gotta give my boy Phil. Hey, I gotta give my boy Phil his proud too. I know that they didn't win, but I'm starting to see him turn the corner with his more being more assertive and aggressive, man. I think that he turned that corner, man. He played with a lot of passion. Like you say, he was getting downhill. Like that one play, he came in transition. He tried to finish. I don't know who that was under that rim though, but. He came with that rim real aggressive.
Nasty too. He dunked the hard one.
Yeah, he
in
did.
That game. Yeah, I'm a big Phil Nelson fan. Huge Phil Nelson fan. Love it.
Yeah,
and that was the kid. Remember Steve?
They're gonna be playing it in the postseason. Them Clinton, all them. You can expect to see them teams in the big house.
Yeah. So I'm excited about. Come here, Trey. I'm excited about Clinton and Trey Alexander. Yeah, he's something to met. He's one-on-one. The one thing that I can say Coach Taylor let him do is go one-on-one. One-on-one, he might be the best one-on-one guard in the state. Like you ain't gonna be able to. You can't, especially from the mid-range. His mid-range is like it's money. And then he hit the three, with Clinton down 3, 66-63, huge shot with no time left, basically, to send them to overtime. And what was so special about it, especially when you get a kid that he's gonna take the shot. He dribbles the ball, and next thing you know, boop, 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 bing, to win it, to send it to overtime.
Hey, EV, I know this is a geek, and it is my last thing, and I'm done though. But do you remember what happened during that possession before Trey got that ball though, before he got the shot to take that 3?
What happened?
Do you remember the possession? I think it was like the possession before that, when Clint got the rebound, and they kicked it to one of the Clint players at the free throw line. He shot an air ball at the free throw line.
I missed that.
Oh, you missed it. Hey, if you gotta go back and see it though. If you were the coach, you would have been extremely hot. That one of the ones that you say, "Come on, stay in character." I'm talking about he shot it quick, like they drew the play off on to shoot the mid-range jump. It didn't say no rim.
That ain't what you do, son. That's what you tell me. Son, that's stay in character. That's not what you do.
Hey, I'm the coach. I'm saying, man, you don't get the one of these perimeter guys, man. You must don't know time possession, man. We got to tie the game up. like Wayne Brent say, Dog, do your job, dog.
That's what it say. And you finna get somebody fired out here. That's what one. You try to get me fired. Go ahead, Shoes.
Yeah. I'm just ready. To see
You breaking up, Shoes. You breaking up a little bit.
I say I'm ready. I'm just glad we get the season rolling. This week has been like it's been good. We had some good games. A bunch of good games, and it's gonna be a lot of good ball played around here this year, especially right here in the metro area. There was another game last night in the area. We talked about Starkville and Starkville and Canton. Choctaw Central came to Northwest Rankin last night and got a win. And so Choctaw Central now has 2 really good wins to start the season. So they definitely a team we got to keep an eye on in 4A this year.
Who they beat last night, Shoes?
They came to Northwest Rankin and beat Northwest Rankin at Northwest Rankin last night.
Oh, okay. I know it was a tournament over there. I didn't know if they played. Yeah. I didn't know if they played Northwest Rankin.
They came and played Northwest Rankin. What was it? They beat them 54-48. They beat them by 6. Beat Northwest Rankin by 6. So they squeezed out 2 really good wins. Raymond and Northwest Rankin. So I definitely think we might have found our challenger in Raymond in the 4A rank. We all been saying through the summer, just Mayor Raymond the gold ball, but it might not be that way now. Like you said, then we got to think about South Pontotoc too. So it might not be just Mayor Raymond the gold ball.
So did Yazoo move up to 5A?
Yeah, they in 5A.
Oh, okay. So now, here you think about this. The young legend, correct me if I'm wrong, Shoes, could win one. He won one at Velma Jackson 3A, right?
Yeah.
Won 4A at Yazoo City. Won 6A.
Yeah.
And if he wins one in 4A, what do they call that in cards? Is that like a
this year be 5. You have a straight flush.
That's what it is, Keiko. 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind. Wow. The young
You got a chance to get they have a title in 4 different classes. If he can pull it off this year, he definitely does have a chance to maybe win him a title in 4 different classes.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah, but I'm just excited the season get going. Ready to watch as many teams as I can and see as many guys as I can, man. I think I'm gonna have my head on the swivel. Also, for the next few weeks, we got next week we got the River City Challenge over in Vicksburg that Monday. It's a lot of there's a strong, pretty good schedule over there that Monday. Then we come back that Saturday with the Mississippi Hoops Challenge, Lamont Roy's deal. I think it'll be a Tougaloo again. We got a lot of good ball next week. Next week going on.
So is the River City Challenge tomorrow?
No, I say next week. Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'm talking about next week, the week of Thanksgiving. We've got the River City Challenges that before Thanksgiving.
And then Lamont is this Saturday?
No, it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's what I said. Next week we got 2 local classes.
What we got anything this week? Anybody know of any good ones this week?
I don't know of any classics this week. I haven't seen
everything will be closer to the holidays. Everything will be closer to the holidays.
Okay.
This week,
right. Yeah, I know. I think Tuesday Callaway play Clinton, so I think I'm gonna be at that one.
Oh yeah, Tuesday Callaway Clinton. That's a good one. I may be out to Hillcrest tomorrow. I think Hillcrest Christian plays tomorrow. My boy Greg Thedford. I want to try to check them out. I think they play tomorrow. If not, if I'm not there, I don't know if a JUCO plays tomorrow or not. Anybody have any JUCO information? I know Jones is undefeated. I think Mississippi Delta girls are 4-1. I think Mississippi Delta boys are 3-1. Anybody have anything on the JUCO side?
I went to JUCO Gulf Coast game Thursday night, and I'm gonna just say this right here. I didn't get a chance to see the twins, Dimp and Key Parnell, but I seen them Thursday night. and I was blown away. They are the real deal. If them dudes, I can't believe Southern Miss or somebody like that hadn't jumped in on them boys. But them boys are, like I said, Dimp had 25, and I think Key had 21. And I didn't see a weakness. They can shoot the three, they can handle, they can defend, they make free throws. I mean, I was impressed because I said I thought they was gonna make it to the state championship last year, and of course they didn't. So I didn't get a chance to see them. But when I say Jones is loaded with guards, Jones is loaded with guards. I was even impressed with the kid that left New Hope and went to Memphis, LJ
Yeah,
Hackman.
LJ
And
Hackman.
then, yeah, he starts at one of the other guards, and then they got Trey Smith at one of the other guards, and then they got one of the twins from down here in Gulfport. So they go with 4 guards and 1 big. And boy, look here, they gonna be a tough out. I'm questioning now. Don't get me wrong, Pearl River's probably gonna push them as well because Chris only got some guys a lot of people don't know nothing about, and then they're all tough. But I was really impressed with Jones and those twins.
Yeah, and I
EV
have.
Raymond and Ridgeland play Tuesday at Raymond. He
Ooh.
over. Hey, I might have. They're gonna be tough. I might have to go to that one.
Man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is gonna be a go. See, the girls game gonna be, man. That is a good one. Be nice if you, and that's at Raymond or at Ridgeland.
At Raymond.
Yes. Yeah. That is a good one. You go catch catch that girls game and try to slide over to Raymond. That ain't.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit that Callaway girls game because I know that JoJo versus Taylor gonna be a good one. And then then go right over there to Raymond, hit the back road, get right there to Raymond and catch the boys game.
Catch the boys game. Wow. Well, listen, man, we enjoyed everybody, man. I know it's been a long night, but it's been, man, I've enjoyed myself, and so I don't have much to say other than, man, appreciate great first week. We look forward to seeing you guys every week, and then we'll just try to catch some games this week and so appreciate everybody for Shoes, Lavelle Shoes Johnson, Thomas Snack Lee, Kate Cole, Talante Weber, Cora Jones, Eddie, and Gabe in their absence. I'm Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, saying good evening, good night,